You know, I remember when they first announced the Bad Batch show, and a lot of Star Wars fans, justifiably at least, after what we saw in The Mandalorian, I mean, that was just a spectacular, great series. After The Mandalorian ended, and it was showcased that a Boba Fett series will be coming in Christmas 2021, nobody really expected much of the Bad Batch series. I truly hope that Episode 1 just shut everybody up, because, my God, was that a spectacular episode. I know this because when an episode is an hour and you still want more, then guess what? It did its job, and it was just an epic episode showcasing Order 66 from every other angle, and of course the ending, which I'm going to explain exclusively today. That ending flew by a lot of heads, and we're going to explain it. Today, I'm just going to go through quickly of what happened in the episode, what can you expect in the future, and where are they going in Episode 2? Who is the guy that Hunter knows about? So right off the bat, I really gotta stress this, the animation is just beautiful. I think it's cliche to say this, and of course all of you know this, but there are moments in this episode where you're just baffled by the quality. I mean, just in the snowy planet of Color, when Hunter is chasing after baby KANAN. Did you guys see that moment when Hunter touched a branch and the leaves, the snow, just how it reacted? It was as close to reality as you can possibly get. In those scenes where we have masked individuals all in armor and a snowy environment, it's really hard to see the animated aspect separated from reality because the weird valley effect is not there. Once they remove their helmets, of course, you realize you're in an animation, but at some point, one of those times, I mean, it's kind of awe-inspiring, but the episode starts off with Depa Billaba and what he is being dubbed for right now, Baby KANAN. So what I'm going to mention out of the bat is the voice of a small KANAN. I realize what they try to do here. I mean, I truly do. They brought back Freddie Prinze Jr. and he voiced the character of Caleb Doom, a very small Padawan Caleb Doom, but I'm sorry, he just sounded like a 40-year-old, and you could see that at some points his voice had a very high pitch, so it would sound immature in some aspects, but most of the time you could hear the 40-year-old voice crack. So I guess puberty hit very early for Caleb Doom, and yeah, the voice showcased that. The initial dialogue was just fine, but afterwards it just came tumbling down. The very slight shots of Grievous and Palpatine, that was extraordinary. Even in Season 7, we're just getting snippets of Grievous, and he just keeps getting better and better. Then the episode takes a very sharp turn after Order 66. We quickly realize that, as we suspected, the Bad Batch was not fully aware of Order 66. In fact, Wrecker even asks what's in Order 66, to the point where the inhibitor chips seem to not have worked on our guys, except for, of course, Crosshair, which everybody suspected by the toy leaks and the trailers. Yes, it is made apparent that Crosshair from the beginning will start towards a dark journey where by the end of the episode we see him fully betray his brothers and just go against them. The introduction of Omega was something that kind of shifted the episode as well. Omega seems like a very harmless clone, a small little child. Throughout the episode you get the feeling that she is much more. She is precognitive, she has empathy, and she can accurately feel what others are feeling. She is pragmatic and knows things before they happen. Very attentive, as you can see here in the last scene, where she is watching Tech very intently, which shows she's not only precognitive, but she is a fast learner as well. So together with the rest of the guys, Omega gave this episode a very interesting feel. But the dark, looming cloud of Episode 1, The Aftermath, was of course the gloomy environment of post-Order 66 and the Empire. Let alone that Tarkin is now supervising the Kamino facilities and he is evaluating if the clones should continue serving the Empire. What's worse is that you can see the demeanor change in the clones. According to Tech, they were always this harsh. The regs are just assholes to them, but not to this extent. After Order 66, there is no doubt, and you can see that during many scenes, that the clones are now in a very, very dark place. Their mindset has been completely changed, and they don't seem to display a lot of mercy. Clones were always different, and they displayed many characteristics, such as we see with Clone 99 and some clones kind of mocking him, but not to this extent. In this episode, we outright see the Regs making fun and laughing at the Bad Batch, calling them the Sad Batch. It goes on to be so tense that a cafeteria fight breaks out as Tarkin is watching on. Tarkin, of course, suspecting of all clones, especially the Bad Batch, gives them the assault test, which they pass with flying colors. But of course, Tarkin suspects where their loyalty lies. This, of course, is confirmed on the mission of Onderon, where Hunter finally makes his decision not to go through with killing civilians just because a soldier follows orders. Here we have the second disobedience. Once it was Order 66, witnessed by Crosshair, and again Crosshair was there when Hunter refused to kill the civilians that were led by Saw Gerrera. In fact, Saw Gerrera is seen to have sparked the first rebel cell, kinda. And the ending concludes, of course, was with them being imprisoned by the Empire, escaping from their cell, but not before Crosshair is examined by Tarkin, and his evil is now enhanced by the Empire, serving the Empire. This is where, again, Omega comes in, because she feels the darkness looming in Crosshair. The dialogue between Omega and Crosshair shows exactly how special Omega really is, and we're going to speculate throughout the week. I'm going to make another video about what Omega's DNA contains that makes her feel this way. But towards the end, she shoots Crosshair's sniper with only one shot, and later reveals to Hunter that she has never shot a blaster before. This was her first time, and she was more precise than Crosshair, which gives you some indications about Omega and the next level of her abilities. But finally, the gang escapes, and here we get to the ending, where I would love to explain it a bit more. So Hunter knows that with Crosshair following them, they really have no safeguards and safe places to go. One thing that is on his mind is Sector J-19. And Hunter goes on to say that he has a guy there. Well, for those who heard Obi-Wan talk about J-19 in Season 2, Episode 12 of the Clone Wars, Sector J-19 is the planet of Seleucami. This is where Cut Lawquane, the deserter, is located. And of course, who could forget Cut Lawquane, the famous clone who abandoned the Republic and started a civilian private life of his own. He married his Twi'lek wife and has two adopted children. He first appeared in Season 2 of the Clone Wars, where the Battle of Seleucami eventually led to Captain Rex locating Cut Lawquane as they protected his family against BX series droid commandos. In the end, Rex and Cut Lawquane simply left as friends, and Captain Rex, of course, agreed to not report Cut as an army deserter. And to make matters even more interesting, and honestly, this makes me so excited for Episode 2, guess who's gonna wait them on Seleucami inside the house of Cut Lawquane? It won't be just that clone, but I truly think that Captain Rex also sought shelter on Seleucami and asked for Cut Lawquane. This is where the Bad Batch will meet up with Captain Rex, and they will finally travel to the wreckage where we see in the trailer. This is when Captain Rex will fully explain Order 66 and what happened to the Bad Batch. Episode 2 will connect the Episode 1 ending and what we see in the trailer with Captain Rex and the Bad Batch getting together. This is the missing link. Cut Lawquane is harboring a fugitive in Captain Rex, simply because Captain Rex, after Order 66 and after he separated from Ahsoka Tano, did not know where to go other than Cut Lawquane, who has been avoiding the Republic, the Empire, basically everybody in sight. So that is the J-19 ending of Episode 1, and I explained it as much as I could, but I am so excited throughout the week to explain to you guys a lot more, and Episode 2 is coming on Friday, so subscribe for those explanations and for the breakdown on Friday. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed, leave a thumbs up down below, subscribe for dailies. Now you can have an awesome day, Star Wars fans. I'll see you in the next video, and may the Force be with you until then.